What it tastes like. I want you to visualize that. Put yourself in that moment. Beautiful. I think I nailed it. Nice, loud, clear voice. What's the food item you're thinking of?
Beer.
Beer, of course. Beer, yeah. Because at any grocery store in America, that is the barcode for Budweiser beer. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So why do I do this to start the show, right? Well, basically, for me, creativity, it genuinely did. Creativity saved my life, and I mean that wholeheartedly. Creativity got me out of a really, really dark place when I was about 30 years old. Up until I was about 30 years old, I wasn't doing much. I was really just kind of a drifter, getting by, having fun, partying, and not really having a goal or a passion in life. And then at 30 years old, something hit me, and I just said, I'll just submit one of my own tricks to the biggest magic magazine in the world, properly named Magic Magazine. Now, these are my idols. These are people I've looked up to my whole life, and I just sent the trick in, thinking nothing of it. I went through my whole life never thinking I was creative, probably much like most people. See, society and our education system doesn't train creativity. It doesn't encourage people to be creative. It almost influences people to think that creativity is a gift that you're born with, that the muses come down and sprinkle it on just a few. And that's so far from the truth. I talk to so many people that say, I'm not creative, and creativity is one of those things that can't be taught. That is false. There's nothing further from the truth. Creativity at its core is taking ideas and putting them together in a unique way. Every single person in this room can take their ideas, put their own personal spin on them, and be creative, much like we did with this story, right? I do this as a joke because a lot of times throughout your creative struggles, you never get to the end goal that you first set up. A lot of times when I invent magic, I have an end goal, and through my creative process, I end up on something so different from where it was. So the day I got the letter back from Magic Magazine, it was 2 weeks after I had submitted it, and they said, we really love your effect. It's extremely creative. I was 30 years old, and that was the first time I believed in myself and my own creativity. And it changed my life. At the time, I was a pool boy. I was literally making $9 an hour cleaning pools of very rich people out of Vermont, wondering what the heck I'm doing with my life. But that little tiny spark of somebody, one of my peers, saying I was creative, set me on the last 6 years of my life. And I never stopped. I had this little fire, and I went, well, do we have a number here? 210270. Interesting. We'll see what that means in a minute. So I had a little fire of creativity. I had the spark. I had somebody tell me I was creative. And I think one of the biggest hindrances of creativity is what you think other people are going to say, what your peers are going to think. And that's the biggest blockage of creativity, which is another reason I bring my children out. Because if you can put yourself in a childlike state of mind, in a playful mindset, and you give yourself space and time to do so, a space that conducts creativity for you, that you feel good in, and the time every day to practice it, you'll blow yourself away with what you can create. And I made that my mission. I said, look, if I'm going to be happy in life, I'm going to do what I love, which is magic. How in the world am I going to make a healthy living off magic? And I found a company. It's a company I'd followed for many years. It's called Illusionist.com. It's the world's largest online magic company. What they do is they invent magic and sell it to magicians. So if you've seen a magician besides myself, there's a good chance that the tricks they're doing are invented by illusionists. That blew my mind. I can create magic and get paid. So I did everything I possibly could to get my foot in the door of this company. I got on their Facebook page every day. I posted videos. They ran a contest called Gold Wednesday. If you won a gold deck of cards, this elite gold deck of cards. I submitted month after month, and I won 4 months in a row, until finally they wrote me and said, dude, stop submitting. You got to let other people do this. So then I went into their forums, and I started actively engaging on their forums. I didn't let them not pay attention to me. I had a fire that was burning, and I wouldn't accept no. So a year later, I got a call to be part of the team. It sounds great, but in reality, I got $300 a month to monitor their forums, right? But that was my foot in the door. That's all I needed. So I decided, well, what can I do to make it so I'm actually a part of this company? Well, I can create something. I can create something that's impossible. So I racked my brain. I brainstormed for months what would be the most impressive thing I could create. What does everyone want? Everyone wants to be a superhero. Imagine having the ability of a superhero. I figured if I could somehow harness that, market it and sell it, they would have to hire me on full time. So I spent the next year developing something that I'm very proud of. It's, to date, my biggest invention. It's called Pyro. So my idea was if I could give the people the ability to safely shoot fireballs from their empty hands, people would probably have to take notice, right? Now the thing is, I got told no by everybody. Too stupid, too dangerous, too hard, no way we can make it cost effective. You can't produce it. I got told no over and over, and that fueled that fire even more. As most of you probably know, if someone tells you you can't do something, hell yeah, bring it on, let's go, right? So I spent a year developing this idea. How am I gonna make something shoot fire from your empty hands? And I'm gonna show you the trailer of what came to be from this initial spark at 30 years old of somebody in my field saying you're creative. This has in turn gotten me a pretty good name in the magic community. It's the reason I got on the stage at Penn & Teller's Fool Us, the reason I got called to the Magic Castle. All of it stemmed from this. So I'm gonna click over to the next thing, we'll watch the trailer, and I hope you enjoy. You want to be a superhero? This is Pyro. This has 4 barrels, allows you to shoot 4 fireballs at any time you choose remotely, from 30 feet away if you want. It's sleek, it's black, it fits under your sleeve undetectable and allows you at any time you want to shoot fireballs at will. Shoot fireballs 10 feet into the air with nothing but your empty hand and Pyro. So that's Pyro. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you. So this was my biggest claim to fame, my proudest moment. And since then, my favorite comments about this entire thing is Reddit. Reddit's a big reason this was very successful. It became one of the highest grossing magic tricks of all time. At the company illusionist.com, it was by far the highest grossing magic trick of all time. Made over $7.5 million in a community that's very small. And the reason was that it went way outside of magic. And on Reddit, the first comment I read was, who is this pot-bellied hipster walking through the desert, right? And the best part of it is I can look back now and say, all the people that said no, all the people that discouraged me, they were that fuel. And anytime somebody tells you you can't do something or that it's impossible, look them right in the eyes and just shoot fireballs at them, right? Thank you, thank you, thank you. 2 more just because I have them. Yeah, all right, all right. So, to me, Pyro was my stepping stone. I hope that doesn't set the alarms off. But trust me, in my research and development of that, I set the alarm off in my house many, many times. But for me, Pyro was my stepping stone. It got me in the company. It got me up to general manager where I ran the entire show of the world's largest magic company. And that was 1.5 years after I was cleaning the pool of a multimillionaire for $9 an hour. Thank you, thank you. So the question in an environment like this with a bunch of creative entrepreneurs is, what does that mean for me? Why should I focus on my business being creative? And the reason is pretty simple. Some of the most creative companies in the world are some of the most successful companies.